The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Team Lenny Kiko continues their tour of the Lanao provinces to hopefully gain more voters. This time, they're going to visit the city of Marawi, just a day after Lanao del Sur's provincial chief declared that they're a solid BBM country. Ryan Ang reports from Marawi.
After visiting farmers and attending people's rally in Maigo and Kauswagan, Lanao del Norte, the Lenny Kiko tandem is now in Lanao del Sur to meet with supporters and volunteers. Earlier this morning, the tandem had a dialogue with Bamboo Landers Multi-Sectoral Rural Workers Association in Barangay Manakad, Buadiposo, Buntong, Lanao del Sur. The group were granted livelihood assistance through OVP's Angat Buhay program before. Robredo and Pangilinan also had a dialogue with residents of Angat Buhay Village in Marawi City, where the OVP built 72 housing units for 112 families displaced by the fighting in the city. They will also meet Mayor Majul Gandamra of Marawi City. Marawi City is among the areas in Lanao del Sur, together with 16 other towns, that is covered by the OVP's Angat Buhay program since 2016. The OVP and its partners have been helping communities in Marawi even before the siege broke out. They also lend a helping hand during and after the siege. Robredo won in the province in the 2016 vice presidential race, where she got more than 180,000 votes against Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who only got more than 50,000 votes. VP Lenny and Senator Kiko will end their campaign in the Lanao provinces with a people's rally in Marawi City. The Robredo-Pangilinan tandem will spend their afternoon in Bohol to meet with local officials and supporters who have actively been campaigning for them. They will cap the day off with a grand rally at the old Tagbilaran City Airport, dubbed as Dilaap Bohol People's Rally. For News 5, Ryan Ang, we are One News.
Partido Reforma senatorial candidate Guillermo Eleazar says he's still supporting the presidential bid of Senator Ping Lacson. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, Eleazar explained that Partido Reforma does not force its members to start supporting Vice President Lenny Robredo. The former PNP chief also revealed that he joined Partido Reforma through Lacson in the first place.
I availed of the substitution. Kaya po napasama dyan ako at duty bound ako na talaga po nga ipagpatuloy bilang membro ng Partido Reforma at nirerespeto ko at ginagalang kung ano man po magiging desisyon ng ating partido. Ay nandun pa rin ang suporta ko kay Senator Ping Lacson, even though ay nandun pa rin po ako ngayon sa Partido Reforma na nirerespeto naman po kung ano man ang magiging desisyon nito.
12 security aides of the Vice Mayor of Pilar Abra have surrendered to authorities following a standoff with the local police. Residents from Abra say such incidents are common during the election season. Jenny Dongon with the story.
After more than 20 hours of standoff between the police and the camp of Pilar Abra Vice Mayor Josefina Disono, the official finally agreed to let the authorities enter her compound. 14 different types of firearms, bullets, and licenses were surrendered and examined. 12 of Disono's private security personnel also surrendered to authorities. Abra Provincial Police confirmed that those who submitted themselves to the authorities were former military personnel who came from Visayas and Mindanao and arrived in Pilar last December 2021 and March of this year. The security personnel allegedly evaded a checkpoint, resulting in a standoff with the police.
The 12 are former AFP office enlisted personnel. Marami pong lumalabas ngayon sa investigasyon. Of course, that some were recruited just to train the barangay tanod, sort of like that, and civil security units of that, sort of that. But then, nagkataon po na ganoon ang nangyari.
The PNP also said that Disono could be charged for violating the election can ban. Disono's uncle and former Vice Mayor Christopher Beronia denied that the standoff happened due to political rivalry within their family. Josefina Disono is running for re-election as vice mayor, and her running mate is her own brother Mark Sumera, who's running for mayor. Mark is running against his first cousin, the son of Beronia.
Parang normal na lang yan sa politika. Kasi karamihan dito sa Abra, halos magkakamag-anak, maglalaban dito. Magpipinsan, magkapatid.
Some residents of Pilar fear for their safety after the incident.
may konting takot kami. May konting bagabag kami na baka kasi sa botohan mas lalong worst yung mangyayari. Pero so far naman meron naman yung mga army na na-deploy na. So medyo bumaba na rin yung tension.
Residents of Abra say fights between private armies is common during election season. In a PCIJ article published in 2009, a member of a prominent family in Abra narrated how the province was tagged as the murder capital of the North. The report says that since 1965, political goons in Abra have already been rampant. Comelec officials are eyeing to go to Abra next week to address the situation.
We will go to Abra, not because red na sila, but because we wanted to instill discipline and peace in the area. That Comelec will be in full control of the situation. Maybe it's an isolated incident, but we will not take that for granted.
For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Presidential aspirant Senator Manny Pacquiao sees the country possibly returning to martial law if Bongbong Marcos wins in the May elections. Pacquiao did not offer any proof and based his statement only on his, quote, discernment on the issues surrounding Marcos Jr. Pacquiao also said that he believes Marcos thinks he is above the law, citing the non-payment of estate tax by his family. Pacquiao also claimed that illegal drugs will become rampant once again if Marcos ascends as chief executive, since Marcos is not as staunchly against drugs as the current administration. Presidential candidate Senator Manny Pacquiao is currently on his third day of campaigning around Western Visayas. To tell us more, we have Mon Gualvez reporting from Silay City in Negros Occidental. Good morning again, Mon. Let's start with Pacquiao paying a visit to Silay City Mayor Mark Goles. Could you tell us some of the things they talk about?
Hi, Charles. As of the moment, we are still waiting for Senator Manny Pacquiao's arrival here in Silay City Hall, where he is expected to make a courtesy visit with Silay City Mayor Mark Goles. And just like in the past, may he gets endorsement or not, Pacquiao always makes it a point to give courtesy on the LGU officials he is visiting before they start their campaign in the area. Charles?
Yeah, we just reported that on Thursday when Pacquiao was in Iloilo, he did say that he thinks there is a possibility of the country returning to martial law if Marcos Jr. wins. Did Pacquiao give any further explanations on this?
Yes, Charles, Senator Pacquiao threw yet another criticism against fellow presidential Bongbong Marcos as he warns voters about what he had discerned, that if BBM wins, martial law just might happen again. Well, Pacquiao clarifies that what he observes in Bongbong's demeanor is that his parents might have impinged on him, that they sort of own or control the government. That's why they are not required to follow laws for the rest of the citizens. Pacquiao said this in response to issues about the Marcos family still not making an effort to pay off the 23 billion estate tax finalized by the Supreme Court in 1999. And since then, it has incurred interest. That's why the amount due for payment has now ballooned to 203 billion pesos, Charles.
Right, Mon, now that we know that Iloilo City Mayor Jerry Treñas and Governor Arthur Defensor have already expressed their support for Vice President Leni Robredo, how confident now is Manny Pacquiao that he's going to get some votes in this province?
Well, Senator Pacquiao always said that at the end of the day, it's still up to the voters who will choose their leaders, whether their local officials endorse someone else. And jokingly, the Promdi presidential candidate says that there's still no harm in trying in wooing Iloilo votes with his plans for housing, education, and even livelihood. Charles.
Right, Mon, there have been reports that his running mate Lito Atienza is thinking about backing from the vice presidential race and that he wants Pacquiao to partner with Senator Tito Soto if ever that does happen. How open is Senator Pacquiao to this so-called Maso tandem?
Actually, Senator Manny Pacquiao just shrugged off questions about the Maso or Manny Pacquiao-Tito Soto tandem that's being pushed by his own running mate Congressman Lito Atienza to shatter the BBM Sara tandem survey ratings. Pacquiao insists Atienza is still his running mate, and he thinks Senator Ping Lacson, whom Atienza wants to back out as well, is an able and strong leader, Charles.
Right, Mon, could you tell us what's up next on Senator Pacquiao's agenda for today?
Well, Senator Manny Pacquiao will be busy the entire day today as he campaigns this time in Bacolod and in the Metro Bacolod, as we call it, including Silay, Talisay, and Bacolod City. Aside from a courtesy visit to LGU officials, including Negros Occidental Governor Bong Lacson, Pacquiao is set to conduct a motorcade and dialogues with market vendors here in Silay and Bacolod City. Again, Manny Pacquiao wants to hear personally from them what their woes are so he could possibly offer solutions if he wins as president. And still in his schedule are meetups with pastors in the province. In fact, today, he's set to join a worship event. Charles?
Thanks for that, Mon, and do stay safe. That is Mon Gualvez reporting from Silay City. Human rights and public health advocates are calling for accountability over the wrongful arrest of Dr. Maria Natividad Castro, more commonly known as Doc Natty. A court had earlier freed Doc Natty, ruling that the manner of her arrest last month was, quote, repugnant to her right to liberty. The PNP arrested Doc Natty back in February, accusing her of being a high-ranking member of the Communist Party of the Philippines and of kidnapping and serious illegal detention. In a press conference, groups supporting Doc Natty condemned the NTF-LCAC's rampant red tagging of doctors who are helping far-flung communities. And the group adds that the arresting officers should be the ones apprehended. Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Metro Manila and nearly 200 other areas remain under Alert Level 1, starting today until April 15. BPO workers officially return to on-site work starting today. And live audiences will return to the UAAP starting next week. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.